Hi, welcome to the Tips and Tricks video series. I'm Andy Acker, Director of Education for North America.
And I'm Brian Bouchard, the Regional Manager for the Northeast.
You know, Brian, we get a lot of questions about this. What if we have to take a tile off of KERDI? And of course, we put KERDI here because this is a wet area. And we don't want to damage the KERDI, but we need to remove the tile, and we also don't want to damage the tile surrounding the one that we're going to take off.
That's a pretty touchy situation. Like Andy said, we got to be really careful when we start removing the grout that we don't cut through the KERDI membrane or the KERDI board if we had used the KERDI board.
Okay, so why are we taking the tile out here? What would be the...
That's a great question. I mean, they all look good, but I just noticed a little chip out of this one. That's got to come out.
Okay,
you know?
So the grout's all dried up and cured. The thin set behind there, of course, is all cured out. So this is going to be really tricky to get this out without damaging the KERDI.
Okay, ready?
So how are we going to do this?
I'm going to use a tool to strike out the grout joint so that when I start hitting it with the hammer, it's not going to send shock waves to the adjacent tiles.
Okay, so we're going to isolate the tile in question.
I only want to take one out.
Around. That's right. That would be the key.
All right.
All right. So you have an oscillating tool there. That's a little bit better than a grinder that spins and creates a lot of dust, and of course could really dig in and damage surrounding tile or even the KERDI. This is going to give you a little more control over the situation.
Yeah, so you want to make sure you've got safety glasses when you're operating a tool like this.
Okay, so how did we do? I can see with that oscillating grinder attachment, it not only took out the width of the blade, but a little bit more. So you have isolated the tile pretty good, and you didn't go all the way through, so you damaged the KERDI. Doesn't look. Could you get a feel for that? How deep you needed to go?
Right. Actually, the rim of the blade gave me an idea for depth.
Oh, perfect.
So it was about the same depth as the tile
itself. The thickness of the tile. Great, great.
So the next thing I'm going to do, Andy, is I got to break this tile now to get it off of the KERDI, and to absorb some of the impact, I'm going to tape this towel to the face of this tile here.
Okay.
So that
I'll get you some tape.
When I start to strike the tile will absorb a lot of the impact.
Okay, good idea.
All
and
right.
That'll keep tile shards from flying back up in your face.
I'm still going to wear my safety glasses just in case.
Yeah, good practice.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. How'd we do?
This is a hard tile.
Wow, look at there.
This is a good porcelain tile, so we're going to have to...
You're going to have to hit it even harder than that. I don't think you even made a dent in it, did you?
No.
Okay. There we go.
Now we got to start.
Now we got to start. But I think what we would also like to achieve is some cracking to the edges, so we have some smaller, more manageable pieces to remove, right? That would help when we go to remove it.
Yeah, let me give it a couple more hits. Okay.
Okay, now you have something to work with. Now that you can remove this area, you could get your pry bar, your flat bar underneath there too, right?
Right.
The trick here is to go nice and slow. You don't want to hurry or rush this process. You don't want to damage the KERDI, and we don't want to damage the tile around either. So take your time, be very methodical about this.
You know, Andy, I think we're going to put this back up real quick.
Okay.
Just because I need to fracture this tile a little more.
So not just hit in the center of the tile, but maybe a few blows around there to break it into some more manageable sized pieces?
Yeah.
So we can see what's happening here, Bryant. Right where it's letting go is right at the thin set to the fleece that's embedded into the KERDI membrane. So that's what we're trying to do, is tear it off there. So I can tell with the flat bar you're being very careful to get right into that layer of thin set between the tile and the KERDI. You got that tile out. That took a little bit of doing, didn't it?
It sure did.
But now I think we've got it in pretty good shape. There's still some thin set that we're going to have to remove in order to get the new tile in flush with the surrounding tile.
Yeah, the oscillating tool does have an attachment where we could sand this old thin set off, or we could just use a rubbing brick to sand it down and be flat with the KERDI membrane, getting it ready for the next piece of tile.
Okay, what if we actually did damage the KERDI in here while we went through that process somewhere?
Right. I mean, there's different areas. We could have punctured a hole here, in which we could have used KERDI band to patch a spot like that. But Andy, what if when I was using the oscillating tool, what if I had made a hole along the edge?
Right, well, we do have KERDI Fix. This is a great sealant, good caulking here, and we could do some minor patching around the edge or somewhere in there and do that also. So that you do have a couple of options as far as patching this. So we certainly would want to try to keep that continuous waterproof envelope that we always talk about at Schluter-Systems in there. So that's good. So a little more work, clean it up, and then we'll be ready to replace the tile. So thanks for joining us here. Hope you found this tip helpful. If you ever encounter this, hopefully you don't, that you have to do this, but if you have to, you can do this. You can make this happen.
Just be patient. And remember to visit Schluter.com and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos like this.